Night has fallen and you're weary from travel. Stars fill the sky above, and in front of you is a brightly lit wooden house, the only building you've seen for days. You walk toward the house, hearing the sounds of laughter and talk as you reach the door and push it open.
Shit, hold on. Hold on.
You sit down and join the game. It's a cheap buy-in, and not many of the other players are very good. The lady fiddling with dice gets good cards, but has no real strategy. The man to your right seems to just hold on to the highest cards he has, regardless of suit or any consideration of matches.
Sounds like how I play poker.
The man in gray across from you, though, he's good. He already had the largest pile of coins when you bought in, and while your winnings grow quickly, you can't quite catch him. One by one, the other players leave the table, sometimes with pique or with wry humor, leaving their winnings with you or the man in gray.
Spreading acorns and feathers too. Looks like this is weird. Nice.
Finally, it's just you and the man in gray. He looks at you, full of humor, and winks. Last hand? He deals, you draw, and look at your hand. It's good. It's great. The best hand, in fact. A royal straight flush. Spades. Aces high. But the man in gray pushes forward his whole pile. You're not sure exactly how much it is, but it's more than you've got. You can't match that. The man in gray stops you. Now, if you like, I'll let you wager your word. I know you'll be good for it. Just promise you'll pay the debt, however I ask. Yep. 10, Jack, Queen, King, Ace. All spades. The man in gray smiles. All right, then. I'll call.
What? How does he have the same... How did this happen? You sneaky fucker. How does that happen?
Well, your luck wasn't so good, was it? That's quite the hand, but not for the game we're playing. I'm afraid you owe me. Your life, sure, but more than that, your labor. You see, this land is built on stories. It's one big story, this country, woven of many small ones. Few of the small ones are strictly true, and the big story is mostly a lie. All the stories and songs and myths and legends start somewhere, with a seed. As they're told and retold and passed around, they grow and change to become the stories we know. To pay your debt to me, you'll be carrying stories, finding the seeds first and then spreading them, telling them onwards so they can begin gaining strength. This is no light task. Stories are heavy. Most of the stories you'll find will be small seeds. They might be true, but they'll grow wild and unbelievable with the telling. The more important stories are the true ones, the ones people will tell you about their own lives. Those often get lost in the weaves of the big story. The more true stories you can find and tell, the more you can weave that truth into the big story. Tarnish it a bit perhaps, but isn't a dingy and battered truth better than a shining lie? Now, go ahead. You tell me a story. I'll trade you some information about your task. Travel? That's your job. Wander from place to place, gather those stories and spread them. People get bored hearing the same stories over and over, but an old cliché in one state might be a rip-roaring new yarn in another. You sometimes have to make choices about what kind of story you're finding. Is it a love story or a tragedy? Don't gather too many of one kind, though. This grand story needs variety. Your deepest desires? Your greatest wish? Heaven? Big Rock Candy Mountain? El Dorado, the Promised Land, that place just over the ridge where they all say that the water tastes just like the sweetest wine. Well, I don't know where that is. It's supposed to be somewhere in this country. Ask the people you meet. They're all searching for the same thing. It's just luck. Funny how bad luck seems to follow the folks who already have problems aplenty. Well, try your luck out there in this country. See how the dice treat you. It's not all bad. You'll have to work hard, but I'll give you the gift for seeing the true shapes of people. Not many who can do that. I'll strip away your flesh to make the journey easier, but still you'll feel pain.
Make that make sense, because it doesn't. Why would you do that? If I'm still gonna hurt.
Hunger, weariness, thirst, and despair. They're all part of stories, the part not often told. And death, yes. But don't worry. As long as your task remains, you come back. Go on your way, Seeker. Maybe we'll meet again, or maybe not. Either way, it'll be an experience for you. I'm jealous in some ways. I hope you find what you're looking for.
A chicken.
Well, I'm gonna scrawl my name on the bare bones of the earth. I'm gonna dig my heels into the
This bungalow is being ransacked. There's furniture piled in the front yard, ammunition heaped under the mailbox, and a crowd of clean-cut men ripping apart a car in the driveway. The two heavily armed, mud-caked women leaning over the porch railing share the same bored grin. One shouts at you. "Lend a couple innocent gals a cigarette?" You are about to hand her a smoke when those men draw pistols and shove you hard into the dirt. "You know these girls?" Once they've dumped your bag out into the road, they decide you're harmless. "If you were selling booze too, you'd have a lot more cash," sneers one. On the porch behind him, the two bootleggers are fingering their empty rifles, grinning in disappointment.
I got no companion except the wind and the sea. And when I'm cold and empty, they're the ones who'll bury me. Well, I'm gonna cast my stones o'er the waters of this land, and by and by I'll see them far and long. 'Cause when the night come down for to take me hand in hand, this will be my tale, my vagrant song.
Stories you get from characters are wild cards. They will fit any of the 5 categories. However, telling them will not cause them to grow. So use them sparingly as you're giving up a chance to spread other stories. If you want to swap around the stories you tell, you can do that in the inventory. Do I have stories? The inventory holds the mementos you've collected from the characters you've met. Once a character trusts you fully, they'll give you something to remember them by, which can be used to travel to where you first met. The inventory screen also has tabs so you can see your stories and a timeline of your adventures. Each time you meet a character, you'll have a night talk with them and exchange stories. If you tell them the kind of stories they want, you'll gain their trust and move forward through their tale. However, there's no penalty to telling them a different story. You will still learn whatever they have to tell you. Characters have multiple chapters, and when you fully open the eye in the interface, the next time you meet them, you'll move on to the next chapter. When you finish all the chapters, you won't see them again. Each time you finish a night with a character, they will move somewhere else. You can always check the map to see where they are, but they will also show you when they move. There are several ways to travel across the US. The easiest is walking, but it's slow. You can speed up your walking pace by whistling. Hold down the button and match the notes. Keep your spirits and speed up. See controls for more detail. You can also hop a ride on a boxcar. This will get you exactly where you need to go, but runs the risk of getting injured by the railroad cops. To hop a ride, find a train yard. Safer way to travel is hitchhiking. To hitchhike, hold the hitchhike button while standing next to a road with cars on it. Not every car will stop, but they won't always carry you the full distance, but you will be safe. Finally, if you got some cash, you can go to a city and ride the fast, safe passenger trains from place to place. It costs money, but it's the best way to travel. Set. You. Okay, so hitchhike is Q. This is control. I is inventory. M is map.
Off the road and into the woods, you can't help but
How's it
come
going,
across this package by the old tree tied to a sturdy stick. The cloth wrapping conceals, though not particularly well, something large and softly unsettled. Little eyes blink back at you from inside the bundle.
What's in there? But it's like a raccoon or something.
The shape gives a start.
Please don't tell my pa that I'm in here.
It says in a small voice.
Pa doesn't want to live with us anymore, but I want to go with him. Don't tell him, please. I'm hiding.
You tell the boy you'll keep his secret. You don't see his father anywhere. You don't see another soul for miles.
Oh no! We're abandoning the kid. New story: the boy who ran away from his father.
They don't come every year, you know. The old man is sitting at the edge of a rotting old pier, crooked legs dangling over the water. He watches a pair of seagulls preen and groom each other on a rock just off the shore. Just when the fishing is going to be good. He taps great, black, thick globs of spent tobacco out of a huge ceramic pipe. I got another year, I guess. Another year of this town being here, he replies, letting a grin spread across his face. If the seagulls came, that means enough fish to keep it in place. The woman walks the small town square with the poise of Betty Davis. The confident stride and inimitable mannerisms elevating the sidewalk into a plush Hollywood carpet. And wrapped around her neck, a yellow velvet ribbon, bright as an ocean sunrise. You question a well-dressed man parked outside an oyster house. Prudish woman. I took her on a fine date, and she didn't remove so much as a ribbon. Excuse me, can you step back from the coupe? That's the spirit. You decide to seek a second opinion. You talk with a waitress smoking outside a diner. Something funny about her. Just showed up one day. Doesn't work, doesn't live anywhere far as I know. Just around. Myself, I'd love to know who made all her beautiful clothes.
Should we talk to her? Should we keep asking around? I kind of want to talk to her. Hey. Let's go talk.
You ask the woman if you may join her at a public bench.
You may. Lovely outside, isn't it?
Her eyes are a beautiful shade of brown. Beneath the yellow ribbon, a thick, fibrous scar wraps around her throat.
Aw.
Weather like this, it reminds me of Paris.
You can see storm clouds on the horizon, and you don't relish the thought of being caught wandering this rocky seaside road in the rain. Fortunately, you find the lighthouse door open with a daunting staircase before you. At the top of an ornate wrought iron spiral, you're breathless and feeling the strain on your knees. Rain already batters the walls outside. You can only knock on a heavy wooden door leading into the upper level. Muffled voices and light seep in beneath the door. Looks like we got a visitor.
Oh no.
Sounds like a man's voice, deep and rough. Well, behave yourself. I'll open the door. Another man, this one with a higher, more sonorous voice. I always behave myself. He feigns indignation, but his tone betrays affection instead. After a moment, the door unlatches from the inside and opens. The man before you is tall and muscular, with a hint of a paunch beneath his wide chest. The heavy iron knob on the door looks nearly dainty in his huge hand. Didn't want to be out in this rain, did you? Come in. Despite the rough exterior, this room looks like a well-appointed parlor. There's a rug on the well-trod wooden floor and an enormously plush couch. And sat upon it is a stocky fellow grinning through a great hazel-colored beard. Tea? He offers, hoisting a teapot. Oh, we manage. The tall one sits on the sofa, casually wrapping an arm around the other lighthouse keeper. The quiet suits us just fine. He needs his quiet time. He's a writer. The tall one grunts. I dabble, but you must have some good stories from the road. You wake up the next morning on their old sofa, still warm from an excess of tea and cakes. There might have been little cakes.
Aww.
Prodigious snoring rumbles in from the floor above you, and you quietly take your leave. A dusty truck and a man on horseback pull up next to one another in front of the grocer. Suddenly, the driver and the rider, two wiry old men with identical haircuts, start shrieking at one another.
Yeah, I'd be shrieking too if somebody had my fucking head.
The man with the truck leaps into the street. Brother! He shouts. The one on the horse tumbles out of his saddle. Brother! He screams. They embrace in the road. 30 years! Hollers the driver. The rider, tears streaming down over his face, corrects him. No, 32! Everyone here is watching these two older men cry and hug one another in the middle of Main Street. Cars and wagons are backing up. People are yelling.
Take a photo of us.
The driver begs you. Starts hauling a tripod out of the bed of his truck. The long-lost brothers pose in front of traffic, cry snot pouring out of their noses. As angry passerby wave you out of the road, each brother presses a coin into your hand. When the traffic disperses, you realize they overpaid you quite a shocking amount.
Red brick, green trees, blue sky. In this weather, Boston is beautiful. That is, until you make your way deeper into the city and get lost among the cramped, winding, shadow-haunted old streets. Are we exploring? Earn money? Try to have some money. Going to the streets of the city looking for a way to make some cash. Panhandle? Panhandle. Sit on the pavement until your butt hurts, but nobody gives you so much as a penny. Screw this town, it's time to get caught. Dang.
This city is like no other you've been to. Crooked streets splay out in a maze of narrow passages, no two alike. Soon, you find yourself in twilight, utterly lost. Bright light crests around one corner. A car approaching. Unable to afford rescue, you keep walking. The asphalt turns to crooked cobblestones that threaten to wrench your ankle out of place. Was this always a moonless night? The stars multiply, each one looking like a pinprick through which light is exiting the terrestrial world. It's hard finding your way through in pitch darkness. You go by touch and sound, feeling the scale of the streets by the echoing of your footsteps, fingers tracing the rough surface of the buildings. And then, a rumble of noise in the distance. You quiet yourself, suddenly fearful. The clear sky tells you it's not thunder, but cannon fire.
What?
The city comes alive with fires and shouting. You find yourself trampled by a mob of men in thick brown coats, a phalanx of bayonets advancing up the street.
What the hell?
When you come to, there's no sign of the commotion, the war that you were just caught in. The comically shrill honk of a Model A running up the road startles you, and you crawl toward the sidewalk. Above, the sky is a sharp, cold, cloudless blue. Low tide on a moonless night.
What is that?
This beach is long, stretching toward a receding sea. In the darkness,
I can't be
the
the only one
sand
that
seems
thinks that's
coarse and gray. Alien. The stars are dim and distant. It outshines the stars with its presence, a streak of sickly colored light, leaving a trail of distorted fire. It slowly creeps along the sky like a vast worm, though you know that, given the distance, it must be moving at great speed. Its parabola heads south to north. In the far distance, just for a second, a boardwalk town is engulfed in light. With a rumble, its street lamps and windows dim, then go dark. All that you can see emanating from there is an otherworldly color that you can't quite name.
Oh, we met somebody.
Hey there, stranger. You're welcome to enjoy this fire with me, if you're respectful, that is. This here is my spot, and I ain't inclined to share it with any bad characters. You can call me Quinn. These here are my venturing companions. Cass is the big un, and the one with the spots is Flip. I usually beat my way on the rails, but the road news said this town was fat, and the weather was fine. So I'm taking in the sights and seeing what I can drum up. I want a story that scares me. Now I'm older, almost nobody can do it. Give me your best shot.
This is the subject of each story here. You can tell the person a story about love, for example. They will tell you something about their own life relating to the subject of love or things. As the night goes on, this icon will move left to right. When it reaches the right side, the night is over, and so is your storytelling. The person you're talking to will usually tell you where they'll be next so you can find them again. If you tell them the types of stories they request, you'll gain their trust and the eye will open. When it opens fully, the next time you will meet them, they'll open up more about their life. They'll remember this from conversation to conversation, so don't feel you need to open the eye all the way the first time you meet someone. Dance around, get to know them. We do have a scary story. Oh, that's sadness. Wait. 40. Past memories. Future. Family.
Well, that sure was a downer. Give me a good venture tale instead any day. Sad. Oh, so you think just 'cause I'm young, I gotta be sad, crying after my mama every night. I don't need you looking after me, so if you're offering, don't. And I thought I told you to be respectful.
Ah, shit.
What you really ought to be asking yourself is if you want to keep enjoying my spot or not. I'm in the mood for something real funny like. what's the use in telling sweet, happy tales if in the make you what's my future look like? I ain't looking for a traveling companion, if that's what you mean. I do fine by myself, so just stick to mine and... Hey, tell me one of those exciting stories. I usually like the scary stuff, but your story needed more punch, I think. Well, I don't know a whole lot about the past, but they say there's an Injun grave around these parts. Say it's haunted and full up with angry spirits.
Ugh.
I used to love hearing stories of cowboys and Injuns fighting it up. Would swap tales with the youngins. But, well, I suppose if someone shot me, I'd be pretty vengeful too. I want to hear one of them venturing tales. Got any?
I don't have any.
Ain't life got enough tear-jerkers in it without telling my family? There ain't no way I'm gonna start jaw-flapping about those bastards. Judases, the lot of 'em. Enough said. I want to hear a story about ghosts or murderers or something. Scary stuff.
I don't have anything scary.
Wow.
Oh, maybe
That's
I
the
do?
stuff, stranger.
Okay. Right, fine.
Spooky campfire tales are my favorite. Wishes come true, huh? If I had to say, it'd be great to have red beans and rice cooked with some fatty bacon. Supposed to be a Mississippi River specialty, but I ain't never had it. Well, night's over. I think I'll see what's happening up the road this way. Didn't understand all your stories, but I'd gladly listen to more. The tramping life suits me just fine. Every day's a venture. With things being so depressed, folks walk around like it's the end of everything good. But it ain't. Plenty nice things to see if and you know where to look.
Well, I'm gonna cast my stones o'er the waters of this land.
As you rock down the road, a black crow flutters down to land in your path. It looks at you, cocks its head, and speaks. Well, you've got a long road ahead, don't you? All these people to chase down, or so I hear. It laughs. I've got some experience when it comes to chasing folks. Tell me about it, or ignore the crow. Tell me about it. Well, if you want, you could go find your friend again. Ask them more about their life. They might want better stories this time, though. It peers up. Didn't they tell you where they were headed next? Yeah. But hey, the world is full of people. Bet you could find another friend like that if you went looking around. There's more than one interesting person in this land for sure. It gives a gravelly laugh. That's what humans say anyway. And with that, it launches itself into the air and disappears. Left control to whistle. Match the notes, you'll walk faster. Oh, if I match the notes? Dang it. got stories here. Please.
By nightfall, the hospitality of this sleepy hamlet, combined with their superstitious tales, has both overstuffed your stomach and filled you with a hollow dread. Folks say these woods are full of apparitions, witches, and worse. You curse yourself for getting on the road so late. In the moonlight, every valley and hollow at the feet of the Tappan Zee seems like a stolen shred of the abyss itself. Fireside tales seem less fanciful, and every cackling crow and moaning whippoorwill seems like a demon perched on the shivering, spindly trees.
Where was this story just a few minutes ago with the fucking kid, man?
But something cuts through the noise. The muffled sound of hooves galloping on the cold, muddy road. When he finally slows his horse alongside you, it's as though he had just appeared out of the mist. He's astride a gigantic black courser, and though his boots are muddy and ragged, he wears an immaculate coat with great, shining buttons. From his saddle hangs an antiquated flintlock and a cavalry saber. In the darkness, you can hardly see above his towering shoulders. His voice is a rumbling croak, deep, but as though his throat is filled with thorns. Have you happened upon a cannonball around here?
Ugh.
You can tell English isn't his first language. German is. His hand, so pale it's almost blue in the moonlight, grips the reins in a fist.
Ooh, do we talk to him or do we run away? We're gonna talk to him.
You mumble an apology and watch as he silently rides away, back into the mist. He's cloaked in black, you notice from behind, but the blood running down over his shoulders glints crimson in the moonlight.
Ugh. You share this bus stop with an old man who shifts from foot to foot, thumbing his suspenders and watching the passing traffic with anxious focus. Hey, he blurts, suddenly turning toward you. Want to hear a good story? Sure. With the air of a man who's distracting himself from something, he stumbles quickly through a tale about a cloud tinged with a color no human had seen before, confusing himself now and again, backtracking, adding new details out of order. You barely piece the story together. Wait a second. You suddenly realize that he's told you a twisted version of the story about the light from the sky, but massively changed, with whole new chunks you don't remember. It's true, the old man insists, turning his wincing eyes back toward the road, and with that, the conversation seems over. Let's try to earn some money. Look for work. Sitting outside the department store that emphatically had no day work available when an exasperated woman carrying a small terrier rushes out onto the sidewalk. Here, you, she says. Won't you watch him for me? He keeps chewing the shoes and I'll only be a minute. Yeah, watch the dog. Thank you, she cries and heads inside. The terrier seems perfectly content in your arms until she returns and scoops him up, leaving you with a very generous tip. Go to the store. What are we buying? Pizza? And we'll buy a Coke. I don't know why I'm buying these things.
The engines belch black smoke as the ferry churns gray water into froth. A broad-shouldered figure leans out over the rail, eyeing the skyscrapers on the horizon. Nearby, a man and a woman speak in low, urgent voices. He takes her wrist gently. She is weeping softly.
Aww.
The man gives you a once-over as you approach. His newsboy cap is ragged with age.
You look familiar. Did I meet you at Union Square? The demonstration. It got bloody, but I'm used to that after Italy.
He claps a hand to his hat to steady it from the breeze.
When Gramsci was arrested, many of us had to flee. I came into New York, and here I continue our efforts. The workers' voices will be heard.
Outside the small thicket of apple trees, the phrase "tended to by John Chapman" is carved into a fence post. Nearby, a hound lies on its side, perfectly still. Flies buzz around its ears. But a grizzled man pauses at his digging to shoo them off. There's an extra shovel. With it, the two of you make short work of the grave. He tells you about his beliefs, why he's raising apple orchards in the middle of the country. It's a sin to graft, he tells you. Hurts the tree. Eventually, the hole is deep enough. He stoops to the ground and lowers the pup into the earth. Tears flow freely. I'll see him again in heaven, he tells you.
Poor pup.
Our souls are bound by love. He wipes his eyes. I don't think I can bear to stay here, though. Maybe I'll set out again.
A jet black crow alights on the low branch of a twisted tree. Look at you, it caws. Think you got some good stories already? Well, I heard better. Much better. Ah. It seems to wink at you. Want to hear my tricks? Ask about the stories. The ones you got now, pathetic stuff. You tell those stories around and they'll come back more exciting, more satisfying. So always listen to the stories other folks tell. Their tales are less true, sure, but more useful around the campfire. The boss has a point about the true ones, though, the crow admits. They're extra interesting. You learn a couple folks' true life stories, and everyone will like them, no matter what kind of story they think they want to hear. Any other tips? Well, everyone's the captain of their own destiny. It gives a burst of laughter. Ain't no bootstraps in the world that can save you now. But the choices you make, they change the kind of story you can tell. It ruffles its feathers, a sort of shrug. Choose wisely, or don't. Ah. Okay, so if we keep following this road, we'll bump into the kid again. Or do we want to go that way? Do we want to keep going that way? I think we should keep following the coast.
The stream is a clear, reflective shade of blue,
What is that?
unusual in this region where bog iron colors the river's brown. Across the way, a goat with great leather wings laps up the water, its sunken red eyes
I don't
fixed
like
on
it.
your every movement. You now notice the unnatural absence of wildlife. No fish swim in the stream.
Spooky.
No birds sing in the trees. The winged goat drinks with a forked tongue, only abstractly concerned with your presence.
Do we drink water or do we approach the goat? What do we do? What should we do? What should we do, guys? Tell me. What are we doing? If we approach the goat, I think we get a sad story.
Over the hill, a scorched one-room house lies abandoned, 2 of its 4 walls in ruins. The goat rears up, front hooves curled, and stretches its wings out to their full breadth.
Do we get closer? Let's get closer.
The goat opens its mouth and wails, a protracted, shrill sound, indistinguishable from the cry of a human infant. It only begins to stop when you take several steps back. The winged goat doesn't follow. Instead, it lies down inside the burnt house, surrounded by portraits of a large family, glass frames stained brown from smoke.
Oh, that's kind of sad. Okay, we're almost to Philly. Wait, did I miss a story? How did I miss this one? No way I missed this story. What is this? You notice a black crow sitting on a fence post watching you with unsettling intensity. Hey! It blurts. Hey, friend, hey, you hear about trains? It gives a throaty cackle. Locomotion, that's the life. I got some good travel tips here. Ask about travel. You ever ride a train? It asks. With your budget, you'll need to. Hop on it a train yard, though. Fast and convenient, but the railroad bulls really don't like it when you're riding the empty boxcars. You get caught, you'll get beaten. It hops down and pecks at something on the ground. On a positive side, maybe you'll meet someone to trade stories with, but if you don't like the sound of that, you could hitchhike. Find a friendly car. It laughs. I feel sorry for you landlubbers. No wings, just motors. You can't even cross rivers when you want to. Only at safe crossings. Got a point there. I always do. You notice that its beak doesn't move as it speaks, but before you can tell anything else about it, off it flies. Alright, let's go to Philly. There's some people there too. Wait, let's go meet the people first, and then we'll come check out Philadelphia. Hold on, we gotta go to a camp. Oh, wait, there's more stories to get, though. We should get more stories before we talk to anybody.
You hear the whippoorwill first, shrill and close. Then you see him, High up above the black streaks of wires, a lineman, fraying belt holding him to the pole. A damned bird has come to perch on a power line, stare hungrily at the man's soul.
Well, that's creepy.
He's unsteady. His hands are shaky, and his body sways in the wind. You spot his tool bag next to the pole, worn and frayed, much like the man. A half-gone bottle of cheap rye pokes out of it. What's he gonna do? Come down from the pole? You snatch it from his bag in one quick motion and walk away. Hey! He starts, but whatever he's about to say slips into a slurred whine as his belt snaps. His body plummets.
Oh
his
no!
limbs go
Oh
slack
no, we
with the
killed him!
understanding
Oh,
of what is
no.
happening to him.
Killed
He
him.
tumbles into the tall, dry grass by the side of the road with a muffled noise. All you hear is the call of the whippoorwill,
Killed him.
eager, loud, thankful.
Killed him. Oops.
You come across a girl picking wild blueberries. She smiles and greets you.
On in.
She offers you some from her birch bark basket.
Birch bark basket. Birch bark basket.
You reach in the basket for blueberries, but pull out a handful of small, smooth stones, all the colors of the rainbow. The snickering girl runs into the trees as fast and light as a rabbit.
Did I throw the stones? I should throw the stones at her. Throw the stones at the little shit.
When the stones reach the top of their arc above your head, they turn into butterflies, all the colors of the rainbow. Your heart
Cool.
leaps in surprise.
It's break time at this half-finished bridge. The workers are gathered around a young man who sits on a bucket like a king. They listen raptly to his story about the fisherman and his fish calling seagulls. You realize it's a story of the seagulls and the fisherman, but heavily embellished. The young man on the bucket tells it masterfully, doing all the voices as if he's told it this way 1,000 times before. What a story. It's nothing close to what actually happened, but this version is pretty good. You'll have an easy time remembering it. Go to camp. Let's see who's here. We meet a friend. It's Quinn again.
Hey, traveler. Come to join my fire again? Well, I guess I know you well enough to let you set yourself down for a spell. You remember Cass and Flip? You want to hear more about my travels? Well, sure, why not? Nothing better than trading stories around the fire, and I got stories. I want a story that scares me. Now I'm older, almost nobody can do it. Give me your best shot.
Oh, I got one now. Killed a guy.
Wow, that's the stuff, stranger. Spooky campfire tales are my favorite. Traps and such like. Well, one time in Fort Worth, a feller tried to take Cass and Flip away. Said a kid couldn't look out for 'em proper like, that they were fat in Fort Worth and they were going to the pound so that he could find 'em a good home. Well, before I could much argue, Flip bit the hell out of that busybody, and Cass and I joined in shortly. I don't think I ever seen a fella so surprised. Guess I ain't going back to Fort Worth no more. I want to hear one of them venturing tales. Got any? Ain't life got enough tearjerkers in it without telling stories like that? Gee, death. Now why you want to go worry about that? Don't got enough on your plate as it is. Ain't nobody can avoid changing. Can't run from the dying. But the living can be mighty fine if you go... Hey, do you got any really thrilling stories to tell? I'm hankering for one of those.
Kid, I ain't got no more spookies.
Were you trying to scare me? Well, you didn't go far enough. Huh. Sad. Oh, so you think just 'cause I'm young, I gotta be sad, crying after my mama every night. I don't need you looking after me, so if you're offering, don't. And I thought I told you to be respectful.
The fuck you want from me, kid?
What you really ought to be asking yourself is if you want to keep enjoying my spot or not. Hey, tell me one of those exciting stories.
Kill him.
I don't get too much out of tales that are so cheerful. Not enough excitement for me. Freedom. Well, teacher used to talk about freedom like America was eat up with it. But the tramping kind seems to be just about the only real freedom still in supply. Ain't no freedom from an empty stomach or bad weather, unless you're rich. I want to hear one of them venturing tales. Whoa, quite a story, stranger. This land sure is something, ain't it? I can't wait to see it. Tramping like I do makes me realize the land's another kind of companion. It's always with you. Maybe things are so depressed 'cause folks lost sight of that. Oh, heck, the night's over already. I sure enjoyed talking to you, but I gotta get on. The tramping life suits me just fine. Every day is a event. With things being so depressed, folks walk around like it's the end of everything good. But it ain't. Plenty nice things to see if you know where to look.
I'm gonna heft my spade up upon my weary back. I'm gonna keep that stride stuck in my soul. 'Cause when my goals burn low and my brains run out of track.
Farmer's loading beside a couple crates of berries, idly watching the clouds go by, waiting for the pickup. He says, trying to make small talk. He says, trying to Hey, you want to hear a wild story? Absolutely. He starts telling me about the dead woman in the yellow ribbon. It takes a couple minutes, but suddenly you recognize it as a story about the elegant woman in the small town. However, whoever told it to the farmer changed. Well, a lot, but it's still pretty good. Where'd you hear that story? Oh, I can't remember, he says. I think I've known it for years, since I was a boy, for sure. That can't be right. You thank him for his story and start to mosey off down the road. Keep cool, friend, he calls after you.
Well, I'm gonna cast my stones o'er the waters of this land, and by I'll see them far and long. 'Cause when the night
more stories first. I don't want to camp yet. Well, I don't think that's the kid, right? Like, this isn't... Right? I don't think that's the kid. Yeah, it's camp. I don't think it's the kid. I think it's somebody else. Yeah.
My twin brother Paul and I always got into trouble, but we were good. We didn't do nothing to anybody till we left. Then we hurt a lot of people. Me, more so than Paul, because he didn't make it through.
Aww.
The march I was on, the bonus army, it's less a bonus and more an acknowledgement of what I've had to suffer. Civilians will never understand. Do you know any happy stories? Hopeful ones? For a moment there, just a moment, I felt better about it all too. My family, they were good to me, Ma and Pa, and to Paul, and to my sister Jessie. Some days I wish I could find Jessie again and have her help me. She always liked Paul best. Know any good jokes? I'm not so good at telling them anymore. That can't be true. That sounds like a nape home. Well, my sister, Jessie, won't forgive me. I made my own way for a while after that, till no one could afford gardeners. Who could stand to care for the land nowadays? Tell me a happy story. Something to make the world seem kind. And that's what you think when you think of tragedy. Huh.
No.
My wishes come true? Well, if I could wish for anything, it'd probably be for a nice, plentiful garden, away from everyone else. My own land, my own laws. So anyway, tell me a funny story? You seem like you know a few good ones.
I don't have any funnies.
Life ain't like that, in my experience. But I guess my experience ain't normal. The future's the Great War leaves us nothing to go back to, plucking up the hope and leaving us only with the vile and the unforgiven. Tell me a happy story. Something to make the world seem kind. I liked that one. There's some hope left for you too, you know. Don't give it away too quickly. Love? It was a real long time ago. I pulled a ribbon on her hair and her pigtails came undone and she tattletaled on me. Never really tried after that. Here's the sun. I've got to go. I'm headed up the road this way. Will our paths cross?
You're going north? I just came from there, man.
Days come and go and the terrors return. They'll never be able to pay back what they owe me, but I'll always keep at 'em. What about you? Is there something somebody owes you?
Where the fuck am I now? Where am I? Hold on. Hold on. Go to Washington. Let's go to the city. Earn some money. One of the streets of the city. Let's do some work. Shouts echo from a nearby alley. You discover a crowd of men unloading sacks from a truck. Uh-oh, as fast as they can. When the truck empties, it roars away, and another surges up to take its place. The sacks are lumpen, heavy, and stained with dark smears. Ask if they need help. Yes, blurts a laborer. Do we ever? An older fellow, however, throws out his arm to shut the man up. We don't need help with the stuff, he says, stepping close to obscure your view of the goods. Mind fetching water instead. He waggles a few coins in your direction. Sure. You fill their pail up at a nearby gas station. When you return, though, the men are waiting in the alley, innocent as anything. They wash the sticky residue off their hands in the water, and their boss passes you a couple coins. There's no sign of the goods anywhere. Right here. No, we need to buy anything. We are not tired. Good. I don't need to buy nothing, so let's...
The mailman's uniform is dated and worn. He sits on the edge of the road, head in hands. He looks up as you approach. Can you help? Car clipped me. I think my legs... Well, I'd appreciate it if you could deliver this for me. He holds out a brown envelope. The letter's addressed to a James Gibson Sr., 120 J Street. But the city stymies you. The blocks run straight from I to K. You stop a man for directions, but he shakes his head and laughs. Someone's playing a joke on you. There's no J Street.
Keep looking.
Over here.
A woman in a brown coat overheard your question. She steers you down an alley. Someone's chalked a big orange J on one wall.
I thought Clovis was late. Go left up ahead. Old Man Gibson's the third on the right.
As you round the corner, the world changes. J Street is a place out of time. Like the city forgot an entire street a century ago
Oh, that's
and
weird.
carried on around it, oblivious. Even the noise and bustle of D.C. can't penetrate this little pocket. The man who answers is ancient and stooped. He peers at the letter. I think it's from my son. I don't see so well anymore. Will you read it to me?
We're going to tell him the truth.
You tear the letter open. It isn't good news.
We already have a couple sad stories. Let's lie.
You read the letter, omitting a few key details, but his face still falls. I don't think he's coming home, he says. It's been so long. I don't think he's ever coming back. He takes the letter.
Oh, I feel so bad.
Thank you for bringing word, at least.
Man. I feel bad that we lied the whole day. Why do we have so many sad stories? What's this? Oh, that's to cross. Okay.
His clothes are expensive, but unkempt. A tailored jacket stretched and warped out of its best fit by long days on the road. His thinning frame weighs down the boxcar next to yours. "You got a light, friend?" You offer a match, which bends and nearly snaps as he scratches it against the pitted iron edge of the boxcar. "Thanks," he mumbles, perching one last cigarette on his lip. "Don't rightly know where I'm going." You notice how deeply wrinkled his clothes are. It's as though a huge hand plucked him from a high society party and crumpled him up like a sheet of paper. "Don't rightly know how I got going, either. They built a railway just past Missy Hudson's estate. A damned racket ruined our soiree.
Soiree.
Might have been a few bottles of Armagnac too many when I walked down the tracks to tell them to keep it quiet." He drags on the cigarette, but you never see him exhale.
What is he? He's a ghost. Alright. Where the fuck are we? Okay, we can keep going this way to get to the kid. We keep going. So.
The man is the color of mill dust. His smile creases his face like folds in dough. He gestures you inside the dilapidated structure and shouts over the sound of driving wheels. "You're welcome to sleep here. You don't want to rest by the river. Not in the evening. Insects." Man shoves the broken door closed behind you. The mill is warm, and the air is heavy with the powder kicked up by your entrance. You realize how easy it would be to drift off on this pile of sacks to the loud but constant sound of the grinding wheels.
Ooh, do we sleep? We stay awake. Think. We're gonna go
Pain sears your spine. Why did you sleep at this ridiculous angle? Your back complains from being draped over the millstone. It's good the mill is totally abandoned. Its works long ago disconnected, or your legs would have been pulverized. The man is gone. This is not a place to linger.
Folks are setting up a cooking tent in the corner of the fairground. Beyond them, bigger tents rise like clouds. "You want to make some cash?" the manager asks. A long, hot day serving funnel cakes and bussing tables in the dining tents, but you're paid well. We made some money. Fuck are we? Back in Pennsylvania. Need to go. We can go back to him, I think, before we come back down. So let's...
As you walk along the river near an unfinished bridge, a man with a tool belt catches sight of you. "Hey, over there," he calls out. "You look like you could use a quick way to get some hard-earned money." Hard-earned is right. The bridge hangs high over a perilous drop.
Oh, we're doing it.
"Great!" he exclaims. "Suppose you'll want a safety belt. We Thunderbird people don't need 'em. We fly when we fall." He chuckles. You find yourself up high, looking over the rushing river that crashes around the foundation of the bridge. As you work side by side, the man mentions, "You can see Thunderbirds up here if you know how to look." You ask him to explain. "Practice your peripheral vision, if you dare. Last thing you need up here is for them to see you seeing them and come swooping at you," he says laughingly. You only see the clouds thicken, but it sure does pass the time working. The man pays you well when you're done with the job.
Did I even get any money? I didn't see no money added to my shit.
A few wanderers like you are looking for a place to camp.
We heard there's a Leatherman cave nearby.
Ooh, what?
They tell you. They describe a locally famous vagrant who hiked this area for almost 30 years.
He's dead now, but his caves are the best place to camp at any town.
You and the other wanderers find the cave easily, because someone's lit a fire there. As you approach, you see a silhouette bend over the flames with an odd creaking sound, like a door swinging in the wind. His coat is crudely stitched from leather plates that squeak against each other.
"The Leatherman,"
one of the others whispers.
"A ghost."
The Leatherman must have heard, but he just stares. His face is corpse still. "He's eating," you say, and point out his can of beans.
"Je ne suis pas un fantôme,"
the Leatherman says, and adds,
"Idiot."
"Oh!" bursts your companion.
"Canadien."
Soon he and the Leatherman are deep in conversation, and your group has a safe place to rest.
The policeman in the truck on this corner is having a pretty wild argument with someone on the other end of the radio. "No," he keeps saying. "No way." You listen in as the man on the radio finishes a wild story about a headless Hassan of Sleepy Hollow. "I swear this is what happened," the cop over the radio insists. That's when it clicks. You know this story. It's a stranger version of the story of the writer in the woods, but with some bits left out or replaced. Ain't true. Cop in the truck sighs. If he only knew.
He leans against a fence and turns to face you as you pass him by. At his back is a bag full of bird seed. He assures you that the gawky birds perching on his body are the last remaining passenger pigeons.
They look extinct to you?
You're not sure those dull gray pigeons look anything like the pictures you've seen of passenger pigeons, though you can't help thinking they stare at you a little too intently.
Say, you like birds? They're lovely creatures. Guileless, really. Hunted damn near to extinction, weren't you?
He strokes one of his birds under the chin. You think you see drips of blood flecking the creature's dirty gray head. You sense it's about time you start moving on.
You be kind to the little birds now, you hear?
You hurry along the road, though the flapping of ungainly wings seems to follow you for hours.
Check.
The edge of summer has turned the ocean choppy and misanthropic, and the skies miserably gray. The boardwalk prophetess lured you into her tent with a promise to read a fortune for free. Seems like business has slowed to a crawl already. Before you lie the instruments of her profession. There's tarot cards, Rider-Waite, but also Marseille for traditionalists, rosary beads and costume jewelry, and of course, the centerpiece, a great glass globe. With practiced theatricality, she goes directly for the crystal ball, letting her eyes unfocus as though she can see a great distance into it. She brings up names, places, asks if you've known someone called John, if you have a relative in Newark. You'll latch on to what she says, and together you dance towards some insights about your romantic prospects. It's relieving to meet an honest charlatan instead of the ghouls and ghasts of the road. You might even say you're having fun, until she abruptly stops talking. Your eyes, she says, her voice suddenly drained of the bassy drama that was her stock in trade. You've met him. You've seen him, too. You carry him with you. The words that come out of your mouth are not your own. They seem unwilling or unable to form properly out of a human throat. They're more like snarls, warning noises of a vicious animal. The glass globe shatters. Your vision is hazy, and your body is not your own. You came far to get away from me, the voice lodged inside you says. But this one has a way of wandering. The fortune teller has collapsed, cowering. Consider your debt to me repaid. When you come to your senses, you're lying face down on the rough wood of the boardwalk, sore and weak. An empty patch of wood, cleaner than the surrounding planks, is all that remains of the fortune teller's tent.
Leads him to the truck on the corner is having a pretty wild argument with someone on the other end of the radio. No, he keeps saying, no way. You listen to the man on the radio finishes a wild story about the boy whose shiftless father left him alone in the woods. Wait a second. I swear this is what happened. The cop over the radio insists. Then it's when it clicks to you. You know the story. It's a stranger version of the story of the boy who ran away with his father, but with some bits left out or replaced. Ain't true. The cop in the truck sighs, if he only knew.
Be my tale, my vagrant song.
The women are oblivious to your approach. Their eyes are shut. Their touch, where they hold hands, is gentle. They speak in low tones. One stifles a burst of laughter, but it brings a smile to their faces. "Sorry," says the one who laughed. "Don't be," another assures her. They don't look up. And we give thanks for those who have left us, who we wanted gone, for the skills to thrive without them, and for the companions who make the effort joyful. The voice of the youngest wavers. The woman to her left squeezes her hand. This is not a scene to intrude upon. Muddling through the dark, you stumble into the path of the white deer. Its beauty strikes you at once. It is something otherworldly, beyond borders, a moon swimming in the void. Human shouts not far away break the spell. The deer's ears prick up. This thing is being hunted. You know a way out of here. As the hunter's cries get louder, you approach the deer carefully, palms outstretched. As you grow close, your features become clearer in the light of the deer's aura. It bolts into the path of an oncoming train.
Damn it. Killed. Killed. I don't want to see this kid yet.
First, Ma and Pa wanted me and Paul on the front lines. They wanted someone to be proud of, and I did as they asked. Then the government wanted me to take an IOU, and I did. When there were no more jobs, I, along with thousands of others like me, went and asked Hoover to pay up. General MacArthur was so scared of us, he brought in goddamn tanks to keep us from tearing apart DC. So anyway, tell me a funny story? You seem like you know a few good ones. That can't be true. That sounds like a Navy tale. Freedom. Not many of us are free from suffering. Know any good jokes?
Like a storytelling. Kind of little game.
Yeah, Paul would have liked that one.
I do too. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's kind of like a I don't know. It's like a chill game right now. I'm just kind of chilling.
But faith. The time for faith is long past, my friend. Have any exciting kind of story? My memories get my adrenaline up, but they're not exactly fun. You're fun to listen to, you know? A good distraction, anyway. My journey? If you look at it all at once, it'll overwhelm you. It'll hurt your mind. If you take it day by day, then it won't hurt quite so much. My foot bears it a bit better. Tell me a happy story. Something to make the world seem kind. I got nightmares enough without hearing that kind of horror.
What? He helped the birds.
All the connections, which is what love is. But love comes in so many forms. I love now the ability to walk more dearly than ever. Do you know any happy stories? Hopeful ones?
Happy, hopeful stories. Where's those bitches praying? Hold on. Where are the bitches praying? Where are they? Did I ever tell that story? No. Where is it? stories to tell you, my guy. He falls to his death. I can't tell you that. Look, man.
I don't really scare at that stuff anymore. Heaven. I've already seen it. It's a little clean for my taste, but since Paul's there, you won't hear me complaining. The night's over soon. I should be leaving. The road takes me this way next. Where's it taking you? I wish there was a road I could take home. Home, as I knew it, to my sister Jessie and all of them before the war. But there ain't.
This is supposed to be set in like the 1930s or something like that. Where like people are just traveling about all the time, or like, you know, you got like these, it's during the Depression.
It's something I think the road is helping me to understand.
I'm a skeleton. Where was he fucking going? That way? We gotta get more stories. It's not a bad game. Thanks for hanging out, Tim. Thanks for hanging. Fuck are we? Damn it.
The hotel is an old manor house that's seen better days. A grand structure surmounted by a gambrel roof that dwarfs the house itself. It's eerily still, but for two boys at play. Each one so small and light, they barely leave tracks in the deep snow. The clerk behind the counter is old, and your room key is worn. But night approaches, and the price is low. Just before you shut the room door, there they are, the twins,
Oh my god, let those boys
staring
in
at
for
you
sleep,
from the
man.
corridor.
Come on. They're gonna murder us in our sleep.
In the
Fun.
morning, as you leave, the clerk asks, "Did you sleep well?" You tell him it was just perfectly fine. You don't mention the small feet trampling outside your door, or the dreams of blood seeping from the bed frame.
Ugh.
You don't say that every shadow seemed to contain something vicious and alien, threatening to escape. The snow is turned to a dirty slush that clings to your shoes. On your way to the road, you feel the stare of 4 tiny eyes somewhere in the shadowed eaves of that crooked house. Clouds roll together to fill the sky. You shelter beneath a rocky overhang. Above, the clouds turn gray and purple and blue. Lightning arcs between them. The hairs on the back of your arms stand on end. The lightning is so strong that it seems to open a path in the haze above you. You are sure you see massive talons curved around the clouds. The thunder is so immense that the ground trembles. Your lips and hands tingle from the electric charge that fills the air until the dancing lightning passes on over the hills. The huge farm dogs bark hysterically. A scent pervades the air, rich and salty, with a tang that fills your mouth with saliva. No wonder the dogs are wild. The burlap sacks hanging from this tree are stained carmine. They drip. Man near the tree shouts. He bellows, "Mind where you step! Don't want that in your shoes!" Puddles of blood congeal below the tree. The man points proudly at the bags. "Curing 'em, but could just bite into one right now." The dogs throw themselves against the gate. It shudders. They're just big pups. They won't do themselves any harm." The gate groans. "Think you'll come back this way? You want to try the meat when it's ready?"
Oh, it's people. I bet
The
it's
gate
people.
rattles off its hinges. It crashes to the ground. 3 slavering dogs rush towards you.
Oh, do I run? Do I have any of those stories? I feel like I have. Let's get another
You're up the
page.
tree in seconds. The man follows as swiftly, swinging himself up onto a high branch. Fuck! The pair of you sit there, with nothing to do but watch the dogs lap up the muddy blood puddles. The dogs have ignored the man's shouts for what feels like hours. "They have to tire out soon. They'll listen to me then." The man sounds unconvinced. The beasts circle the tree, whining hungrily. Their eyes are staring. Their bared teeth are covered in white foam.
I don't like it.
The dogs have more patience than the man. He's moved to jump down several times already. Each attempt has only driven the dogs into a greater frenzy. Unless you do something, you'll be here for hours more. You ignore the man's shouts of outrage. You both need this distraction. The meat bag thumps to the ground. The hounds are savaging it in seconds. You slip down from the other side of the tree and run, putting as much distance as you can between you and the dogs. Some students have paused their long walk home to rest on the bank of this clear, shallow pond. Above them, a plane makes low and hazy loop-de-loops. They gaze into the water. A young man points at a girl who stands alone on the shore.
Her dad's in the plane, he murmurs. We stop here every day to see him.
He points into the pond, and you realize that the plane is flying under the water. The image in the clouds is its reflection. The girl drops to her knees and stretches her hands into the pond. And when her father roars around the loop of the shore, his engines splash mud all over her clothes.
Papa!
She sobs and lunges for the water. You hold her hand as she steps out onto a slippery rock in the shallows.
Wait!
Her friends shout. But when the plane banks past, she leaps, and you push her for good measure. Splash. The water clears. She did. She did. She trails white-knuckled from her father's tail fin like a windsock as he swoops around the far end of the pond. But on its way back, the plane doesn't turn. It's aimed right for the shore. The plane ramps straight up past you into the sky. A flash of the girl's wind-squashed face, her father's wild smile, and the wings snap through the treetops, and they're both gone in the clouds.
Thank you!
You hear her cry. Her classmates burst into tears.
The save automatic, like that's my. I'm gonna end this here.